Good chapter. Start off on that, man. There's so much of this MOTV shit, man. Are we kicked off?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of freestyle and wild. Is it running? Huh? We running?
Yeah, we're running.
Right. So they call hello,
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Hakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word, sincerity and truth. And with the Hebrew Israelites back once again, to preach the gospel of Yahweh Shai and to prophesy in these last days about the things that shortly shall come to pass, man. And everything that we've been talking about for years is literally at the door. Time of Jacob's trouble, the race riots and race wars, class wars, all that business there, the famines, everything that's in these scriptures, it's right here. The MOTV, the mark of the beast, that's literally right at the door. And especially when you look at what's happening in America since Trump has gone in, man. Everything is basically falling into place. Everything's falling into place. And it's beautiful to watch because we're definitely in that time. But that's why it's more important now than ever to get Yahweh Shai, to learn Yahweh Shai, man. Because we almost out of here, man. Things ain't gonna get no better in this place. It's only gonna get worse, man. Till it leads up to
we've been discussing with different things,
everything's getting worse.
It's deteriorating, man. Nothing is everything as it has been, prior.
It's peaked. Everything is already peaked.
The spirit of this place is leaving.
They ain't nothing more. They know artistically that this place peaks. Whichever way you want to look at it, man.
It's good to say Egypt's an error in every work, man. Everything is been degraded.
And they think it's going to be a renaissance and a golden era, but it's not.
Yep.
It's not, man. Trump is going to lead America into outworld settings, man.
Yeah.
And it's already really happening if you're paying attention to the little details. You see him laying off all these federal employees, and man are clapping. Those are people that no longer have jobs. Those are people that's no longer paying tax. Those are people that are now going into the job market, driving down wages because now they're desperate. There's a lot going on in the system right now. Things are not going to get better. And another thing, what they do, they get people to focus on things like the stock market. The stock market ain't got nothing to do with the little man. No. I actually looked up the British stock market, right, for the last 10 years. It's really gone way up. It's been going up.
You can't.
No, does that mean that everything's great? Even GDP can go up. That don't mean nothing. You got to look at what's happening on the ground.
What do you receive on this offer?
What do we see? We see more higher prices that we got to pay.
Yep.
Wages are prices are out. Flying our wages.
Longer waiting lists on the NHS.
Longer waiting lists and everything. And what else do you see? More homeless people.
Yep,
more crackheads.
Definitely.
More people at the food bank. That's what I noticed.
Yep.
I'm noticing that when I go through my ends, there's just food banks everywhere. There's at least 4 food banks now. 5 actually. There's like 5 food banks out just in that little area of Barking. And there's just bare man always outside lining up to get bread. Meanwhile, them man will show you a little stock. Oh yeah, the economy is doing great. Oh yeah. So you got to pay attention to details, and you'll see things are going downhill, and they're going downhill faster. Yep. Let's get the scripture.
Yeah, on your first point, it says Ezekiel 12 verses 26 to 28. It says, again, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesies of the times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, they shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord power.
Yeah, look, that's been happening for years, man. Going back to the apostles and elders, they spoke about martial law. Man's laughing. He, ha, ha, ha. Oh, that's not going to happen. Listen, they've been preparing for martial law. Everything that Esau's doing is preparing for when they set hands on the people. Everything from the NDAA to the Patriot Act to the 1 billion hollow point bullets they bought to DHS to even these ICE raids, which they did. The numbers came out for the deportation. They ain't really deported no one. But what does that tell you? that it's not really about deportation. But what have they managed to push through off the back of that? Building what? Concentration camps.
Yep.
Now you're there cheerleading because you think the concentration camps are for the illegal immigrants. No, it's going to be for the you people.
Yep.
The dissidents.
But what's one thing you know as well? People are more increasingly frustrated in this world, man. As we got riots going on, stuff
And
like
rightfully so. Because we talk about the UK, but the same thing's happening in America. It's all the inequality has been increasing and increasing. And now that guy Gary Economics, man, I like the way he breaks it down from the point of view of you got to focus on inequality. The inequality is what's causing the problems. You could get more money in your pocket, and that's what people don't realize. They could increase your wages, and you could still be worse off if the rich have increased more than you, because the inequality is what brings the problem.
Which is funny, man. For a world that promotes equality, there's a whole lot of inequality going on, right?
Yeah,
you're equally poor. That's what the rich are doing. They make you equally poor, while they're getting equally rich.
And we're in a situation where the youth don't really have a way. Lad, if you go back certain years, you could be an average man on an average wage. The woman didn't have to work, and you buy your house.
Yep.
Now you gotta be basically, you gotta sell your soul to the Illuminati to buy a house in London, because you gotta have 50 grand deposit. The man talk about 10%. That's bullshit, man. You ain't getting no mortgage with no 10%. Because what's the average house price around here is what, 300 to 400 grand.
So that'll be a flat.
And that's a flat.
The average house is more like 758.
So if you're planning on having a family, yeah, one of them things, yeah, then you're talking about 500 grand. That means just to have 10% to put down on it, you gotta have 50K in your bank liquid. Ain't nobody got no 50K walking around within their bank liquid like that. And that's just to get the basic mortgage, which interest rates are crazy off the chain. So there's a lot going on in society right now where really the whole you will own nothing and be happy with it makes sense.
Yeah, it's at work.
Because everything's becoming more expensive and harder to live. It's becoming harder, man. Yeah, go on.
This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Because real prospects to the poor have. How do these people have, really?
I'll tell you what prospect. I'll tell you what prospect they have. They're all hoping that basically they can hit the lottery. And life is not supposed to be like that. Life is not supposed to be where everyone's relying on the low percentage long shot to live a life. You're just hoping, listen, if I go on the internet and I act goofy and I sling my pussy out a door or I do some goofy shit, maybe I might go viral. And maybe that might launch me into getting some kind of lifestyle out here. Yeah. Which more time, even when they go viral, it ain't good enough. Everyone's really, when you break it down, everyone out here is really relying on a long shot. Most people are relying on a long shot to get somewhere. Which brings that morality. Yeah. As you can see. You can't just be average now and you're cool. You can't be cool being average in London. Hey, it's crazy out here, man. And Labour didn't do nothing for that. They thought Labour was going to come in and fix all that. None of them are going to fix it. Well, you people are going to wake up to the fact that the scripture says when the righteous are in rulership, these people that are being voted into power are not voted into power to be righteous or to deal with the people righteously. They're there to forward the stealing and the oppression from the elites. And that's what's been happening for the last... From a different angle. It's the same shit over and over again. The richer get richer and the poor get poorer in relation. It's the truth. That's why chicken and chips cost you £2.50 now and it used to cost £1. But they're telling us inflation was 2% every year. How? How's that work? Yeah. Go on.
Isaiah 24 and we start from 7. The new wine mourners, the vine languishes, all the merry-hearted do sigh.
And that's what's going to happen when this shit really hits the fan. Right now, the only thing why this place hasn't descended into pure hellfire is because of the abundance of distraction that's out here. If they never, listen, man, let me tell you one thing, this one thing for sure. If they never had man's ability to just be scrolling on their phone and bare pussy popping and bare jokes and bare football for man. There's about 50 million live streamers that's live streaming the football match, and they'll have a 2-3 hour argument about the manager and whether they should be sacked. If they never had all that shit, yeah, to distract you from what's really going in your life, yeah, man would already be burning this place down. That's the only thing keeping this place going is the fact that you got alcohol, drugs, and entertainment to sedate the people away from the reality of life. This is hell.
I was going to say, the mouth of tabrets seizes.
That's what's going to happen. There's going to come a time, and that's why we told you when the sea thing happened, we knew that weren't the real thing. Because when the Lord really bring the time of Jacob's trouble, you're not going to have concerts and things and people online laughing and joking. There ain't going to be no time for all of that. That's when life gets real serious. But when a man's like, for instance, yeah, when the man started bombing up Gaza, I'm pretty sure people weren't in their house watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They might have to get serious. So there's going to come a time, which is coming close, when they fully collapse this society, man. That's when everyone's going to get serious. And none of that entertainment is not going to be running the show anymore. The man, your rapper ain't going to be on the podcast trying to get some views.
They can't afford to be distracted. They got to be switched on.
Got to be on.
You know what I mean? Because your life's at risk now. You're like, shit's happening.
And that's what's going to happen, man. And we're getting closer and closer. They're setting it up. Trump, Elon, and all that. They're really bringing austerity, and the people haven't clocked it. They haven't clocked that. They might have bringing austerity. They're cutting certain Medicaid, cutting this, cutting that, laying off federal workers left, right, and center. And then we're going to talk about it. They're saying, oh, we might have to give you back $5,000. And that's a joke because Trump already gave the fucking elites and the elite bankers, what was it, 6 trillion or something with the CARES Act? And then man are talking about giving you back $5,000 now. What, you think that's gonna save you? This is the thing. Because no one's watching. When they signed the CARES Act, you know how much money they gave to the big bankers and then big corporations? They gave them trillions. Trillions. That's where all the inflation came from. Now he's like, oh yeah, we might give you 5K. But that 5K, how do they make sure that everyone who's supposed to get it? Because they're saying the social security is all messed up and you got people that are 300 years old, which if you believe that, you believe. I don't know whether that's true or false, but it doesn't matter. Perception is reality. They're saying there's people on the books. There's fraud on the books and people that's 300 years old. We need to fix that. How you think they're going to fix that, G? How you think they're going to fix that? What we've been telling you all these years, that the MOTB is going to be brought forward as a solution to all of these problems.
Something I always go into about how there are certain inefficiencies that I would argue are built into the system such that they can come in with the solution, right? Because it doesn't make sense that you can have a government database where they're just paying out money to people where they don't know. But that might genuinely be the case such that they go, oh, it's broken, mate. We're going to have to start again.
They find things wrong with the system, find things wrong. And they bring it up more and more. It's like, nah, it's a problem because this is happening. This, people tax evasion. Yeah. So we
it's good thing they got the smartest man on the planet there to fix it, right? Yeah. And he could come up with something because he's a genius. And what's he gonna come up with? Oh, it just so happens to be everything Klaus and all them man had already said they're gonna do anyway.
Yeah, man, things that DARPA have been working.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But remember, then shall it be known the prophet have been among them. The only camp that's been going into all of these technologies and showing you how they're going to tie it into the MOTB is Great Millstone.
Blowing the trumpet.
The only camp.
Warning the people.
We were talking about AI. We were talking about blockchain. We were talking about CBDCs. We were talking about digital ID, QR, all that. We were talking about it. While them man were making fun of us and talking about the mark of the beast is some white woman's vagina. Some white woman's pussy walls. That's what they were saying. Go on now.
I was going to say, the mouth of tabrets ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceases. They shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it.
Great morning. There's a point where you could be so sad and messed up that liquor don't help. And that's what's coming to America. That's what's coming to the world. Things are going to get worse. Right now, there's a little bit of hopium going around, especially from the right, because they think that Trump is saving America, man. that hope is gonna turn sour, man.
100%.
It's gonna turn sour.
That's how I feel.
And he even told you, yeah, things are gonna be better before they get worse. Anytime a man tell you that, yeah, you already know what time it's gonna be, because it's gonna get worse. Because they need it.
Gonna get
Because they need it to get worse. Because the way they're gonna get you to take that MOTB is through crisis,
desperation.
through desperation. And we've been telling you that for years, that the MOTB is gonna come like a salvation to certain people. The ability to access food, the ability to get the services and the goods that they need.
Can I get something?
Mhm.
Little story. 3 verses, right? From
Those-
Genesis, yeah. Genesis 47, verse 18, right? It says, and when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle, and there is aught left in the sight of my Lord but our bodies and our lands, right? Because there was 7 years of famine going on, right?
Yeah.
And they, there was no food left, right? So they gave all their money over to Joseph to provide them with grain and
their disposable
bread,
income or their
right?
savings.
So yeah, all your earnings you have to give it up because you need to eat, right? So Johanna knows about it, right?
Yeah, we ain't forgetting that Johanna said, if you got to take a chip to eat, then you should take the chip.
He said that. We never going to forget that, right? Verse 19 says, wherefore shall we die? Why should we die? Because that's what these people are going to be arguing or debating amongst themselves. That we're in this situation, this desperate situation, right? Why are you going to let us, these governments? Why are you going to let us die? Give us something, help us do something.
Yep.
And actually,
Daddy Trump and Elon Stark.
Yeah. Actually, we got this, this democracy. We're going to do this. This is what they're going to offer you.
You got this AI government system that can make it's a beautiful system. It can make sure that everybody gets what they need.
Yep. They're going to sell it to you, right?
That universal, what do you call it? The universal high. Now they changed it now.
Oh, is it?
Because obviously he's a genius, so you have to upgrade it. So he calls it universal high income. Because they're gonna give you drugs with it.
Yeah. But equilibrium drug, isn't it?
So
yeah. Verse 19 says, wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread. Right? And like I said, the WF talking about you own nothing, right? So they're happy to take
all your assets.
Take it all, man. Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh.
And that's what they want. They just want everyone to be a hardcore chip slave at the behest of the elites, man, under complete control and oppression. And that's really what they want. And they've been moving the earth more and more towards that. But if people don't see it, the people have less and less and less. The things that they do have are trivial. Yeah, you got a mobile phone or something. Yeah. But what hard assets do you actually own? No, the elites are getting more of the land, more of the infrastructure, more of the farmland, more of the things that actually matter, the resources. Really, the elites own it all. How many oil wells does the average man own? None. The average man doesn't really own anything. The average man is a human resource. Your only worth is to go work on a plantation, to go produce for someone else. That's why you rely on something called a job. And credit. If you rely on a job, then you don't really own anything.
But what's that? An employee is just a serf.
Yeah, it's a servant.
That's why I say job is just over
Yeah. Now the Duke of Westminster, he don't need a job. You know why? Because he owns the whole of Westminster. He don't have to work because his assets is what's keeping him going. And that's why they tax income and not assets. That's how they get away with the trick. Yeah. The trick is to tax income. So you work, so the income, your income will be taxed. The super elites, they don't work. So what are you going to tax?
And their assets increase in value.
And their assets increase in value, man. That's how they operate.
They can what do they call that, man? They use it to get better loans and all kinds of things. Leverage. That's the one.
And you don't get taxed on it when you get a loan. So this is how they operate, where they continue to enrich themselves and become more wealthy with actual assets, and you become less wealthy because the most you've got is what? Money in your bank, which is being devalued. They have more than money. Not only can they print money and just give it to themselves, man, they have the actual assets, man.
Yeah. So yeah, back here it says that we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. Desperate times.
Desperate times, and they put themselves into complete slavery and gave up their sovereignty. And that's how Pharaoh became the overlord over all Egypt. And you can read that in secular history. They read about that time when Egypt was split up into all little different kingdoms. Then it became one. That was through that Pharaoh, because now you can consolidate everyone under your power. And how much you see if you can find the tax that he was actually giving them. I believe it was like only like 10% or something, or 20. See if you can find
no, fifth.
a fifth, 25%. He was taxing them. Now, if you know anything about the Western system of taxation, we pay way more than 25% in tax. So them are worse than Pharaoh.
You say it was 25.
Sorry, 20.
20.
Fucked up my math.
Yeah, 20%.
It's like it, 20%.
This is where Esau gets it from. Like your base level of tax is like 20%.
Well, I know for a fact I pay more than 20%.
No, yeah, 100%.
You probably say pay more than 20% because you get taxed on stealth taxes like the VAT and all that. That's a tax too.
National insurance
savings.
Yeah. National insurance, you got to pay national insurance.
National insurance.
You know.
So we getting taxed more than the flipping than these niggas in Egypt was getting taxed. And that's why this place is called spiritual Sodom and Egypt, because the system of Egypt was that Pharaoh and the priesthood owned everything. And that's what Esau wants again. He wants the Pharaoh and the priesthood, which basically represents the elites, to own everything in the world, and everyone else is just living on the plantation, which is not how the Lord intended. The Lord gave every man his inheritance in the earth. And even in the kingdom of heaven, the other nations are going to have their inheritances. But Esau's so greedy, so covetous, he wants everything to himself. He wants to own everything through the state.
Because you don't deserve it. That's how he behaves. Like, you don't deserve anything. Like, he's already got enough, but he don't want you to have.
He got more than
he got more, right?
He wants it all.
He don't believe that you're deserving of anything. You know? Because he's just that prick. You know what I'm saying?
He's greedy, man. That covetous man.
I was thinking as well, because even in that account, you know, the Lord put the spirit on Joseph to know about the famine,
yeah,
you know, and prepare the people.
Yep.
But in this time, for a lot of these people, they don't even see that's coming. They don't see this type of.
Well, the Lord's preparing us. That's what the Lord's preparing. He's preparing his elect, man. Because all these idiots out here, man, they're not preparing really. You got fucking these troopers and these preppers and all that kind of stuff, but they're not really prepared for the day of the Lord.
Man, half of them preppers, man, they probably just sold all their shit now that Trump is in there.
We laugh.
Trump about to bring them back into. We winning.
We can come out of hiding now. You know?
We winning, like, you know, they're so stupid, man. Yeah. But they're gonna find out.
But the point I want in verse 11, but it's off of what the brother said. So Isaiah 6:9, it says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, convert and be healed.
These prophecies that we're bringing out, like we're gonna get Revelation 13, right? To us, it's crystal clear. It's become even more. It was crystal clear to us 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So I don't even know what to call it now. What's more than crystal clear? Because by each year that goes,
apparent.
Yeah, transparent. Perfect transparency. Yeah, right now, when the apostles were teaching that the implant was the mark of the beast, you didn't have all this shit happening now that's happening, man. You didn't have no Neuralink and all that stuff going on. CBDC, digital ID, all that system there, contactless payments you never had. Now we have all them things. And Nate and them, man, are pretending like we went ahead of this curve. Like Nate weren't teaching that RFID is only for location purposes. Now they're talking about, now we forced them to start make up something about embargoes. They started delving into economics and they don't even know what an embargo is. Because they're confusing the people. In fact, we're going to get it. And what they try and do is try and confuse the difference between an individual and a nation. The mark of the beast isn't something that is going to be placed upon a nation. Like Saudi Arabia is going to take the mark of the beast.
Small nations, great nations.
No,
that's madness.
it's in the individual that's going to take the mark of the beast, not a nation or a corporation. Like McDonald's is going to take the mark of the beast or something. Ronald McDonald or something. No, but that's how they're confusing the people. Then they start talking about embargoes. Well, an embargo's on a nation. So if I'm in the UK and the UK someone puts an embargo on the UK, does that mean I took the mark or didn't take the mark? That's you know. Oh no. And then we get the Revelation 13.
Verse 11 says, Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate.
There's a certain group of our people that's just not going to get this thing, man. They're not going to understand that America is going to be destroyed through thermonuclear destruction. They don't understand the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. They're not going to see and understand these things. It's not given to them. So they're going to choose to believe something else, someone else's theory or someone else's narrative. They're going to look to their own path, some other savior. Maybe Bernie Sanders is going to come around and save them from Trump or whatever the case may be. But we're here to tell you that, listen, things ain't going to get no better in this kingdom. We're letting you know straight off the bat that it's going to get worse. Times are going to get harder, diverse temptations and all of that. But there's only one savior. And that's Yahweh Shai. Yeah?
So Ecclesiastes, Sirach chapter 3, verse 24. For many be deceived. For many be deceived by their own vain opinion and evil suspicion of from the judgment. Right? So everyone's got their own idea of how things are going to turn out, right? And another thing that comes to mind is that they trust it in the shadow of Egypt. They're trusting on other people to rely upon other people, thinking that they're going to get you through whatever's going on right now, and that you're going to come out of it on the sunny side.
Man, signing up to Andrew Tate. He's going to teach you how to get rich. What is Well, you better get this truth, man, because this thing's going to turn ugly real fast. When you see like what I mentioned, I'll give you an example. They turned out they just declared a whole bunch of Mexican cartels to be foreign terrorist groups. Now, on the face of it, if you look at things from a face value, yeah, because them cartels are terroristic. You know what I mean? Them men are chopping up heads, doing all kind of crazy stuff. But then, what did we talk about years ago about the definition of terrorism? How broad it is.
People forget.
Now, even if you look up the term terrorist, right, it says you do violent acts here in support of an ideology. And what ideology is the cartels promoting?
That was the thingy, the case up in Wales, Stockport, because the whole thing was Prevent, which is the UK's anti-T group, right, spoke to him but let him go because he didn't. Because so basically what they're saying now is, well, we need to broaden
the scope
of what is, because he wasn't saying, I think they said, because he wasn't saying like connected to a religion, they kind of were like, well, he's not.
And that's why these things have come across, they come about. It's like they're false flags to produce other things, right? That's why it happens, other than the riots and stuff like that, but to bring in different legislations to broaden certain things so you can get hemmed up in shit that you're not even part of.
Right, because what's the difference between a terrorist and a criminal? Why did they even create a terrorist? When, like, for instance, when they're talking about arresting British citizens who are working with ISIS, right? Well, why are they being tried as a terrorist? Isn't there a crime already on the books for civilians that you can use, i.e. murder, theft? These are, if you murder someone, can't you try them as a murderer? Why are you trying to try them as a terrorist? They're a British citizen. Now you can get rid of their citizenship and do all this foolishness, summary executions. When America killed Anwar al-Awlaki with a drone strike, they killed an American citizen. He didn't get no due process.
Fair trial.
He didn't get a fair trial. He didn't get due process. They blew him up in a car. They didn't try to arrest him. And everyone was celebrating like, oh, yeah. It's like, hold on, but he's an American citizen. So what they're telling you is that if they declare you to be a terrorist, listen up now. If you are a terrorist, then all of this due process and constitution stuff can go out the window.
Comes very great.
Because now you're a terrorist. And then, of course, you'll clap because it's Arabs, right? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, get them. Not understanding that what did they do? They started inventing another term, domestic terrorism. Oh, so you can have terror,
Insider.
homegrown
Yeah,
terrorists.
But Timothy McVeigh.
Oh my, but it's all right. It's just a few white supremacists, so it's all right. Okay, and then now they're like, oh well, the cartels are terrorist organization. What do? Sell drugs.
Yep.
Sell drugs.
Murder.
Sell drugs. A little bit of as my man say, escort your blood clot, escort. They're Teddy Brock. Extortion. They sell drugs, extortion. The avocados, because they cartels are involved in the avocado trade too. Yeah, avocado is big money. Man. Yeah, so they're involved. You know, that's what gangs do. It's a gang. They do extortion, they sell drugs, and they kill people. What do the Bloods and the Crips do, brother? Can you explain how the operation of the Bloods and the Crips go? Same shit. So what's the difference between the cartels and the Bloods and the Crips and the what's some other gangs, fucking Latin Kings? There is no difference. They're actually involved in the same industry. They're actually involved in the exact. I'll go one further. They do business with the cartels. So not only are they involved in the same industry, they're involved in the same business. They're bringing in the drugs. These men are the ones that's actually selling it on the streets of America. So how long is it going to be until now that they've put the label of terrorists on these foreign dudes? How long will it be till they start labeling these gangs that be terrorizing neighborhoods in Chicago and LA and Baltimore as terrorists?
And as far as everyone's concerned, every Jake's in a gang.
And then you go into how they've already proliferated the thing all over the place. Now you might hear us say these things and think, give me Genesis the 3rd chapter. Esau's very slick, man. Esau sets people up.
Which verse was?
Genesis 3 and 1.
From the top. This is Genesis 3 from the top. It says the fall of man. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
People sleep on Esau. Esau be setting shit up, man. Esau be setting things up. Esau will set you up. Esau will set something in play that he gonna use in 10 years. Esau will purposely let a whole gang situation grow out of control to create a problem to bring the solution. And has he not, in his last time Trump was talking about Chicago. He was talking about what's happening there. They talk about these damn cities with how defunding the police got these gangs out of control on the border and everywhere.
It's so because you always speak about it. It's just mad. Like these guys defunded the police. Like, what sense does that make?
Right, and that's because they wanted these gangs to get out of control. And then when the police happen to shoot one of these low down dirty bastards, because the majority of these police shootings, let's be honest, niggas that get shot deserve to get shot. We're not here to play games. Hardly ever does a Jake get shot that he didn't have it coming. Bad man are due to get shot. When I grew up, there was a saying, every shot I must dead. Bad boys and police. If you're a bad boy in the streets and you get shot by the police, then you got shot by the police. That's part of the game. It's no different than if you got shot by the ops. That's it. Man are acting like they're just shooting now, man, that's just coming out of the bank. He's a bank clerk. That's very rare. Most times they're shooting a guy. That guy is either a known gang member or he's involved in some kind of way and affiliated, and that's why shit got peaked for man. Let's be honest. But now the police are shook to shoot a nigga down because even if they shoot the dude and the dude's got 50 bodies on him and all that, they're gonna get the what's it called? The Black Lives Matter will turn up here, which they're a agent organization, and demonize the police for it. So the police are thinking, hold on, man. Hold on, these niggas had 50 shootings this weekend. These niggas shot an 8-year-old. Niggas shot babies. And I went out there and I clapped this one nigga, and they're saying I'm the problem.
But then they could cast all of Jake as just degenerates.
So then now that they've allowed that, the police are like, okay, we'll ease off on these niggas and let these niggas noose. Now they got a new sheriff in town.
Can I just grab something quickly? Because Jake, like I said, Jake find themselves in that situation when they're getting clapped. They didn't do nothing at the time, but they've been doing things prior, in other times.
Mark Duggan, Mark Duggan, Chris Colbert.
Who's going to the shop?
Colbert was a bad boy in the streets, busting gun, and the worst thing about it is everybody knew. The ops knew. The man them in the ends knew.
He's on social media.
His family knew. Man was a known gunman in the streets, and he got clapped by the Trident. and man tried acting like he was a youth that was in the studio, in uni, studying a sociology degree. That's how them man were going on.
They never meant to cry for him. Hell no. But it's
No fucking no.
But the scripture says this, right? This is why if you Jake, this is why you're getting clapped. It says it's all right, chapter 8. What's my face now? Yeah, verse 15. So travel not by the way with a bold fellow. You roll with these fucking animals, man. Doing all kinds of crazy shit. Expect crazy shit to happen, right? So lest he become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. So you want to join gangs and all these kinds of things because you think it's cool? Guess what? You're gonna perish in your folly.
Dress like a gang member, talk like a gang member. And they had these niggas celebrating this dude, Kendrick, and they was all dressed in the blue and the red. You don't even understand that they're setting you up. They've allowed you, Jake, to embrace this gang culture because they're gonna turn around and label that as the problem in America, one of the main problems that need to be destroyed in order to make America great again.
But like I said, what's the difference between a Mexican cartel and a black gang or
they selling drugs and destroying the neighborhoods.
If Trump can go for one, he can go for the other.
Exactly.
Deport you, put you in a concentration camp, kill you.
Someone get Ezekiel 21:9. But you see, if you don't have the mindset to understand and the spirit for the scriptures to see, you just see that as nothing. Oh yeah, the cartel is a domestic terrorist. Yeah, but you got to put 2 and 2 together. Like, okay, but if you've done that with them, what's the stopping you doing that with labeling Jake domestic terrorist if you're part of a gang?
Yeah.
And you walk around with your blue T-shirt. Oh, there's one of them terrorists now. It's just as bad as walking around with an ISIS T-shirt then.
Yeah.
And they had that nasty ass tennis bitch doing the damn crip walk for the world to see. Yeah, they were just letting the world know who all the people that are into gangs is. Oh, that was sick. The crip walk.
They think it's cool.
The crip walk. Dumb niggas, man.
I remember a few years back as well, Trump was even saying, it's like, the police, they're too soft on these criminals.
Yeah.
He's basically talking about Jake. It's like when you put them in the car, they're treating them so good, you got to slam their head. He's saying all of that.
Yeah, because the police hands have been tired. But it's true. For the longest while, the police basically, that's why they're frustrated and angry. Because here it is in a third world, and this is the funny thing, like all this racism talk, which they are racist. But listen, bro, go to a black country and see how them police treat you there. If you want to be a bad boy, think you can go to like Nigeria and be a bad boy, and then police turn up and see how they deal with you. See if they're gonna be my black brother, bro. They're gonna bust it. And the brother will tell you here, bro. Hey, bro, come tell them how them Nigerian police deal with bad boys. Bro, you better be able to pay because them men are gonna beat you from the moment you want to beat police brutality or F you. Who are you? Oh, them men are gonna beat you right there, and then you're gonna go to the station. They're gonna beat you. You ain't getting no phone call, so I don't know how your family's gonna find out you're there, and they're not feeding you either. So you better hope one of your family members find out you're in jail, so they can come bring you some food. And they're gonna beat you in your cell till you learn to respect. And God forbid you pull out some kind of weapon, then that's it. And there's no paperwork. Oh, and then man's got to go through some crazy trial, like, listen, man, Them man, you criminals have got it good in America, man. Crying, police brutality. You don't know nothing about police brutality, bro. Go to the third world and you will find out about real police brutality, man. Man will beat you up and leave you on the side of the road for disrespecting, man. Them man will be disrespecting the police all the time. Disobeying police's orders. Police will tell them, like, listen, just put your hands on the, no, man, what the fuck? Bro, go Brazil and do those things. Do those things. But go to Nigeria when the policeman tells you stand up and get out of your car. No, man, I know my rights, man. But them man will bust your forehead clean open, man. Nyam some fufu in front of you, man. But they've been getting away with murder. The George Floyd thing proved that. And the police can't even understand it. But this nigga's a crackhead. This nigga shot his pregnant girlfriend. This is a real low-life criminal piece of shit. And then these niggas are all up fighting for him. And he didn't even die because of no foot on his neck. The nigga was high. He died of an overdose, man.
There was one where it was like basically one Edomite woman, but she had like 8 kids, right? And then her husband shot up the yard, right? Shot up the yard. Police came, killed him, And then afterwards, you had like a Black Lives Matter protest, and then she's cursing them out. And then like, wait there, he almost killed a black life like, in the child, but he didn't care.
It's the hypocrisy.
He didn't care.
It's the hypocrisy.
Black Lives Matter is bullshit, man.
Yes.
But they did it on purpose, so that now they can be like, just like with all the gender nonsense. Listen, we're not doing all that left wing gender on the fund the police thing. Now we're gonna bring back policing to what it should be, the time of the judges, and they're gonna come down on these Bloods and these Crips and these criminals, and they're gonna take away most of the paperwork. They're gonna back the police. They're gonna tell them, listen, if you shoot this man down in the active duty, don't worry, we got your back. Ain't gonna be no more paid leave and all this bullshit.
Yeah, summary execution.
They're gonna summary execute, man.
Ezekiel?
Here it is. You got a dude that's got that King Vaughn. Man's running around and everybody knows he's got 20 bodies on him, and you gotta handle him with care, otherwise he might sue you if you flipping bruise him a little bit. It's a bullshit, man.
One of the things they did with the Chris Carver situation is they changed it, because before you could name the shooter, but the Home Secretary changed it. They don't even need to name the police shooter anymore.
Yeah.
So they're telling
And then when it happened, the policeman that was in his unit went on strike. They said, all right, cool, we ain't going out no more. So when these niggas is out here doing the madness, don't call us. You deal with it.
Yeah.
Because the man tried to run them over with a vehicle. Like, listen, if it was me, he would have got head top too. Vehicle, why are you running for? It's either, and you niggas, it's the same, man. Listen, if you're gonna be a bad boy, innit? And it's either you're willing to be arrested or not. Don't go halfway with it. So you should have been busting back at the police and went out like a G. Instead, you were panicking, trying to. You might as well have just pulled over and just gave up. You were going to do. How are you going to get away from the police anyway? This is 2024. They got drones in the sky and shit. What do you think this is? Fucking GTA. You're just going to respawn somewhere. Has anybody got away from Trident, man?
It's possible.
Who's got away from Trident in a police chase, man? What do you think this is, bro?
You're gonna go for the garage like GTA and
This is Fast and Furious.
I remember years back, he had that, was it Rimsey?
oh yeah, on the bike.
Video of him shooting the police.
Yeah, they got him. Yeah.
Put him in
He said he put it on a couple of police officers a lot, so he shot them.
But he weren't even looking. But he was shooting backwards, right?
Yeah, it was like running and
Typical. Hey, they gonna fix all this stuff, man.
the book of Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where the righteous cut off.
Right, so Esau's being used on the left-hand side, man, to bring these judgments out, man.
Yeah.
You know, time of Jacob's trouble's coming, man. And Esau gonna bare his teeth. The sword is sharpened.
They're gonna take the gloves off, man. And it's gonna look. They got support for that, because all this time, all these right-wing Edomites have been sitting there watching this thing, thinking, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like George Floyd, like, and they built him a statue. This nigga's a porn star, drug addict, shot his baby mama, like despicable individual, and they're defending this dude. But it was all done on purpose, man, to demoralize Jake and make it look like Jake really ain't got nothing to stand on. That Jake only defends criminals.
They're trying to make him look like some Martin Luther King type of figure, man. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't speaking clean like that.
Yeah, man. Nigga, man.
Guys wearing a wife beater.
Tweaking.
After he shot his woman.
He was tweaking, man. You know, but now Trump is gonna give the police the tools they need to deal with these people, man. Yeah. Just like my man Duarte did over there in Philippines, man. When they went after the gang,
he cracked down.
He took the gloves off and the police dealt with them.
Cracked down.
Not should we know we need to get all this paperwork before we go make this arrest.
We know what these niggas
We know where they are. We know what they're on, man. Go on,
all that warrant shit, like all the legal warrants and written by the judge, that shit's out of the window now.
Yeah, get shit done. Well, this is the thing. That's the spirit Trump's coming, getting shit done. Him and Musk, they're just going in and just doing shit. You know, they're not waiting around. They've been trying to do too much.
All these Jake, all these places like Baltimore and Chicago and all that stuff. Even Trump said in his first office, he said some of these places is worse than Afghanistan. It's worse than Iraq. That's why they call it Chirac. He's like, how could this be? Well, he knows how it could be, because they set it up. Brothers will tell you that they provide the guns and they help these gangs. to grow them, and they allow them to proliferate, and they protect certain gang leaders because they're all informants on purpose.
Yeah, like the cartel.
Yeah, just like the cartel, they allow them to grow and to become a problem so that they can come in later and bring the solution. Go on.
This one. Proverbs 1:17 says, "Sure, in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lack bravery for their own lives."
That's right. It's insane, man. These people don't think what's coming, and then for years they've allowed, and I say allowed, they've done it. Here it is. You've got to be part of a gang, right? You're supposed to have to hide that shit. Niggas, every rapper's affiliated with a damn gang. Snoop Dogg's a Crip, and Lil Wayne, what's Lil Wayne, the Blood? And these niggas is walking around with their bandanas. Yeah, I'm in a gang, and it's like, wait, hold on, isn't this shit illegal? And these niggas have got big record contracts, and they've got flipping sponsorship deals, but they're Bloods and Crips.
A lot of them are informants as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you just ask yourself, well, how are these men allowed to promote this shit as a normal thing?
Yep. Like the Jim Jones situation. Because he got caught in the wiretap talking about doing something to man. But he's supposed to be affiliated with all the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? All the Bloods got put in jail, but he didn't go to jail for that. The wiretap.
So it was all a setup. The popular culture is all a setup for when they come down the line, they're going to really label the majority of you Jakes just being gang members off the bat. All of you. You say, okay, get you know what? That whole area needs to just get taken out.
In Psalm 64, verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Right? The perfect represents the Israelites, man. You know, and like I said, Esau got plans for Jake. That's why they're going to come heavy down upon Jake, man.
Revelation. So, and I mean real plans. They really go and kill a lot of you Jake, man. Merciless. Children too. Because they're already promoting the fact that, yeah, a lot of these little niggas can't be saved either. They're little gang members. That's why your boy Stormzy had a damn album cover, and he had even a little youth on the album cover with a balaclava on as part of the gang. What was that imagery teaching you? That even the little youths, they're all part of it.
What you saying about the whole racism by like genetics or whatever, right? You know, he's just going to label us bad breeds,
prone to violence.
Yeah. So we need to be done away with, you know.
Yeah, all these years they've purposely on social media, because I'll be on Twitter, and all these Edomites do is retweet you Jake bugging out in Applebee's or something. See, the usual suspects. See, it's them bugging out, shooting people over ketchup and stuff. All that's going to come back. All that's going to be used as a justification. The two things Esau's going to do. He's going to paint himself as the savior, and he's going to paint himself as the victim. That's what Esau's doing. He's the victim, and we're unapologetically white. That's what's coming back. Forget all this white guilt, feeling sorry, and
who's right?
Really, no, we're not the problem. You people are the problem.
We was right. It was always right. You niggas ain't shit.
So you know what? We gonna unapologetically deal with the problem how we always dealt with it, with the source.
That's right.
And we ain't gonna do all this left fuck thing.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot him and fear not, but they set it up. They ain't gonna worry about the ramifications because everyone's gonna be with it.
It's gonna go back to the days of post-slavery.
Yeah,
how they was treating Jake like animals, like no blacks, no Irish allowed. They're gonna start treating Jake like
no mercy, no pity.
Worse.
Yep. So they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune laying snares privily.
The snare. So this whole gang business, this whole gang culture, this whole hip hop culture, you're gonna find out ultimately that was a snare. You know, when the left was letting Jake get away with murder and doing all this bullshit, and Black Lives Matter was painting all these criminals as fucking victims, that was a snare to flip it all the way the other way when Trump came in. Just like with the DEI was a snare.
Yeah.
The DEI was a snare because they made it look like, oh, we're doing this DEI thing to help Jake, which is rightfully so, because guess what? Jake was always discriminated against in the workplace. Jake has always had to work 3 times as hard to get the same promotion, or be 3 times as smart to get certain things. So they brought in a DEI to say, well, there's certain percentage has to go. We're going to force people to hire so-called black people. Which when you look at it, it was at 3% of your company, you know what I'm saying? Like that. It's fucking insignificant here. But it was something. And Jake started to get jobs off that because now the company's like, okay, well, normally we wouldn't hire a black person. And it's not because they're not good enough.
We've hit a white quota. So
It ain't got nothing to do with whether the person was good enough because they showed you where they would send out the CV and just change up the name and the white sounding name would get the callback.
Right, because let's be real, man. You Edomites that are getting employed and shit, right? Just because you're racist. Right? Not you incompetent anyway.
They're the original DEI.
This is what I'm saying. Right? You didn't deserve those jobs in the first place.
This is your cousin. Your cousin was in the job.
And he's retarded.
This is the worst thing. Niggas acting like an incompetent Edomite ain't never got a job.
Yeah.
All the time. All the time.
These men are acting like there ain't Edomites are just the most competent people that's ever been on the planet and they're super qualified. There's Edomites with degrees that are just stupid.
Which they pick you, they overlook somebody else to pick you.
Listen, let me tell you a secret about how the world really works. People don't really want to know this, yeah? In Edom's world, the man's with the degrees and got all the accolades ain't necessarily the person that's the smartest. Esau could come to the London School of Economics, right? They'll send their child to the London School of Economics. Man's already made a donation to the school.
Yeah.
Man's already made a donation. This is how a lot of Arabs, even the rich Arabs, that's how their children get their degrees and that. Man have made a hefty donation to the school. Man's score is certified.
Yeah.
Man come to London and they're just in London bullshitting.
Driving Ferrari.
Yeah. They'll do a little bit of learning, but they're not necessarily the smartest. Right? They'll do a little bit of learning, but they know they're going to get that degree. They'll go to Harvard already knowing, I'm going to get through. They're going to do something to get me through this. George Bush and these dudes. Like, come on. Like, not all these Edomites that you see that got to this higher echelon are there on merit. A lot of them are there because of who their father is and the money that's behind them. It's nepotism.
That's right.
Let's not play this game like it's always been about competence.
But Jay can't do that.
No,
we've always been handicapped. No matter how smart you are, you can't get into certain places.
No, it's the opposite. So then the solution for that was supposed to be DEI, but DEI was never meant to be a solution because what they did now was they started inserting crazy black trans lesbians and then using that as an example. They did that on purpose, so they would purposely pick someone crazy, purposely do a Hollywood movie and just race swap people for no reason.
Because you got to hit that defined category. You got to be black, lesbian, transgender. You got to do all this shit, all this crazy shit. And obviously, a person like that's not in the right mind anyway. You know what I'm saying?
They started bringing all the LG into it and insane people, right? And then they will highlight those certain situations to say, "Oh, look, this DEI is crazy."
And if you've ever worked with any of those categories of people, man, they're a pain in the ass, man. They're fucking awkward to work with, man, because they're just fucking different, man.
Nobody wants.
They're messed up in the mind. You can't. It's hard to work with somebody like that, man.
But nowadays, what happened was because of that. Say like you're in a workplace, these Edomites who traditionally would keep certain jobs, like the company me and this brother work for. It was known that traditionally certain positions in our company were held for Edomites. That's known. You wouldn't see Edomites in that area of the company. This area of the company, we could put the niggas there, the Irish there. But this area of the company was exclusively Edomites, and on top of that, this man's nephews, man's friends, and man's cousin that's being hired because they had the merit, right? Then what happened was the company started bringing in the diversity. Now they got to bring more women and blacks in there, and it starts getting diversified. Now these same Edomites who were living off a system where they were bringing in their cousins and nephews are looking at you like you don't belong here. Hold on, brother, you got the job because your uncle was in the job, so you don't belong here. But that's Edomites. They're always going to be the victim when the privilege don't go their way. But they're in their position because of privilege. But anyway, the DEI was set up so that now they can just paint all Jake as being incompetent and only being in the position they're in because of their skin color and not because they're actually smart, which is not true. There's a lot of Jake that work in corporate America and all these different places that are more than competent in their job. But now they can label you with it. So as soon as they see you as a so-called black man now or black woman, they can think, oh, you're only here because of DEI. You're only here because if it weren't for DEI, we wouldn't hire none of you. None of you were good enough. Huh? That's not true. That's not true at all. But this is why they did it. So it was a snare.
Which finishes off.
Yeah.
So they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Right, because they do these things behind the scenes. They do these things slickly. So that's why they say who's gonna see them. But we see them through the spirit. We see all the foolishness they're doing. And I'll be watching them like, yeah, I see what you're doing. So I see how the game is.
So they call this social engineering, man. Esau said he deals into the psyches of the people, so he knows how to play them and how to get a reaction out of them that he wants.
Psyops.
To get in this position that we're in currently.
Yeah.
Esau's been studying this shit.
And then all of a sudden planes are falling out of the sky and they blame DEI. But up to this day, there's actually been no release of the investigation of if the people involved in it were DEI, because guess what? Only 3%. They only had to hire 3%. The overwhelming amount of the whole system is still Edomites, like 97%.
Yeah.
And they're blaming DEI as if, what are the odds that DEI was involved? But they're going to say it anyway because perception is reality.
Because the so-called couldn't possibly do nothing wrong.
When they really remote control that shit. But you see, they pushed that out there.
They had a female cabin crew, innit?
Yeah, which that's not even true. Because you know what they found? That company had a particular flight that happened to have only women on the flight. So they did a promo based upon that.
Yeah,
The company's not all women.
no, it's not all. No.
And the actual plane that they were flying, there's nothing to say that plane was all women. But someone found the promo and said, oh, that's why the plane crashed. You see how it works? It's pushing that DEI. But where was the evidence to say that the pilot and the crew were all women? That's why you gotta watch Esau, man, because Esau's quick to shove it in there. It's easy, and it's like,
Need to find that black box.
and that was a spooky. That's the one where the plane turned tipped upside down.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of spookiness to do with that. But
That shit was dodgy as hell.
Because one of the things they're telegraphing, even that new television show on Netflix, they're telegraphing like all of these wild accidents happening anyway. With the one with what's his name, man? I forgot his name, but this new one that is basically like there's a president, he comes back because it was a major terrorist attack. 0 Day.
I watched it yesterday. I didn't sit down.
Yeah. It's like
De Niro's the president.
Oh yeah.
And then plane crashes,
Train
blackouts,
crashes.
all that. Basically, society collapses.
Yeah.
And then it's basically showing the chaos and everyone, people trying to get into the banks, rioting.
and all they're doing is bringing in they want to replace people from positions that are high-paying positions, and people ain't even realizing that. Because when you're talking about air controller, that's a good job that man prayed for, right? Yeah? Well, if they're going to replace that role with AI, they just remove the high-paying job.
Well, I was gonna say the whole merit system, right? I say half Edomite is not competent anyway. That's why they're going to get rid of you, man. Because they got their merit.
Well, you know what they don't talk about? You know who also benefited from PEI? White women and veterans and older white men, because that's also included on the scope. They don't like to talk about it, but DEI is not just black people. DEI is anyone that is in a minority group, which includes older white men, veterans, people like that. But they don't talk about it.
They got their programs for vets. You just literally walk into a job and they will train you on the job. Whereas if you're like a standard hire, if you ain't got the skills beforehand, about 3 years plus experience, they're not hiring.
Yeah.
When you're a vet, they will train you in.
But guess what? Now that they've got rid of the DEI, that actually also affects the vets.
Yeah.
But they love the vets, don't they?
Verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Like I said, a lot of research has gone into this, man.
Yeah. They set things up for years in advance to lead to a situation. And they're happy to play the long game. They're patient to set it up. Like I said, a lot of what the Dems been doing has led perfectly to what Trump's going to do. It's a pendulum that's swinging. Right? And now all these Edomites, man, it's like if you see how they are especially on the right, they feel absolutely justified in everything they do. They think all righteousness is on their side, and it all starts from the gender thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that makes sense, and we agree with you on the gender thing. But I'm not low IQ, bro. Hey, did you clock another thing? This is why you got to listen to these people. When they had Elon in the White House, with his little demons son, right? Demon Spawn. Damien. What did Trump say about the son? He said, "Oh, he's smart. He's a high IQ individual." Who's been doing all the videos about scientific racism and how they're bringing all that back? Why would that be? Think of it. Would that be a natural compliment to give to a boy that's young?
very specific.
That's a very specific thing to say, right? The wordage. He's a high IQ individual. And then he keeps talking about how Elon is the smartest man he knows and he could have got, and he's high IQ because they're pushing technocracy, the rulership by a high IQ elite, which would be, according to the science, the small hats.
Conveniently,
But the average person doesn't understand that yet.
Yep.
Even though Elon has the IQ of a 13-year-old, like, quite clearly. He's the ultimate DEI. If I've ever seen one, that guy ain't got a high IQ at all. He's just a boy that was born into a cult, and he was raised and groomed and chosen to perform a role, and he's acting the part of Tony Stark on the TV.
That's it, yeah.
That's all he is. He's never invented anything. He's not actually a genius.
That's why he was hiring, scientists and all that.
Yeah, you don't run those companies. Those are New World Order companies.
He's the idea guy,
he's the
supposedly.
Yeah.
But he can't produce what his idea.
What, you think he came up with electric vehicles? Are you for real?
Poster boy.
He's a poster boy, man. He can't even speak properly. He's the ultimate DEI if ever I've seen one, and he's the richest man in the world and smartest at the same time. That's the character. Trump said, "Oh, I tried to find somebody smarter, but I couldn't." In the whole of America?
Come on.
You telling me there's not some flipping professor, some fucking 70-year-old professor with a long white beard somewhere at Harvard that's smarter than fucking Elon Musk? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
He's not as rich as him. When the poor man speaks,
You couldn't fund the Trump, could it?
Yeah.
It's like Bill Gates. Everyone likes to say, "Oh, he did the software which he actually stole." It's not from him. You know what I'm saying? They call him rich and intelligent, but now he's speaking for behalf of the WHO.
Was that neither
He's a qualified doctor.
Well, geneticists, any of these things,
A
man.
lot of these guys are front.
He's a software peddler.
His Elon Musk's grandfather was the head of the Technocratic Society, which was a cult. Yeah, and they came up with something called the Technate. And you look at the Technate, it actually includes Mexico and Canada and America as one, which is what Trump's been talking about.
In Canada,
Yeah,
Making him a state.
so you had the Technate, and then obviously he had his mother, and he was born. He was born into a cult, a technocratic cult. He's a cultist. He's not just any kid from that just grew up and He was groomed and chosen for the position that he's in right now.
What was it same with Bill Gates? You just mentioned him. Was it something like his father, his mum was friends with Margaret Sanger? Some shit.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, and his dad was friends or knew the people that owned IBM.
Listen, what you're gonna find out, is a lot of these rags to riches stories are bullshit. A lot of the richest people you see in the world, their rags to riches story is not real. These people were already known. Just like a lot of these, you know what you find out? A lot of these rappers, a lot of these actors, they're related to either previous actors or previous what's it called? The producers. But then you see them and you think, oh, the man just made it. No, they got family and they part of the system. Who did I find out were related again? Samuel Jackson and Samuel Jackson and Janet Jackson and them are all. There was someone I found out.
Yeah.
A lot of these people you think just had this like rags to riches, grassroots road to stardom. You're gonna find out that was all a lie, just like Ice Spice. Anyway, go on.
What's on real quick?
A lot of these people were groomed.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, verse 6. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Yeah, that's wait. So we're at the bottom. and these wicked elite families are at the top. And like I said, a lot of these people, some of them are Rothschilds even. They just got a different surname.
But that's nothing like doing changing the name.
Yeah, that changing the name, so you don't know that actually no, this person is actually on an illegitimate child of such and so on. Jimmy Savile was aristocracy. He wasn't just anyone. Look it up. Jimmy Savile was aristocracy. He wasn't just some normal British.
Part of that 13 bloodline.
He was part of a bloodline. A lot of these guys are bloodlined out, man. But they come up with some bullshit cock and bull story about how they met in college and they did this and that, and they just happened to form a multi-billion-dollar company. But they don't mention all the CIA money and all that shit that came into it. Like the Tate brothers. Perfect example. Their bullshit story about how they became rich. Bullshit. It's all CIA money, man. Fucking hell. They're a character. Their dad's CIA. And they came out of nowhere and just became super famous and super rich. And they're all over Twitter. And you can't avoid one of his tweets.
Yeah.
Oh, these people ain't who they say they are, man.
About escape the matrix and shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Good more?
No, that's it.
Still got Genesis.
Yeah. Just want this last little bit finish off. So they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
Yeah, and now one thing I was speaking to Elder Yeshawamba about, Jay got to realize that Esau means business, man. Esau is not playing when it comes to what he wants to achieve. He is like people. One guy was saying, "Oh, when the seating happened, well, why would they want to kill everyone?" That's because you're bullshitting, man. That's because you're a bullshitter. Your life's small and minuscule, and nothing really matters to you. The people that are the rulers of this world are dead serious about achieving a kingdom for themselves. These are the type of people that are willing. Like you remember when you watched what was that movie, man? You watched the movie Blade 2, you know, it was funny. And then you got the head vampire, and the daughter found out, oh, you risk my life, you know, to all this shit. And she said, how many of us would you sacrifice to achieve your goals? And he said, oh, yeah, you're damn right. Esau don't even care about his own people. Esau's willing to kill his own people if it means establishing himself in an everlasting kingdom. You, Jake, don't want an everlasting kingdom. You're not willing to make a sacrifice. You don't want to serve the Lord for your kingdom.
That's why the Georgia guy so it's no joke, man.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke when they put it up, man. It wasn't a joke.
Esau's insane.
They put that costs money to put up, you know.
Hey, so that's why we
know.
gotta go hard on, because if we're supposed to be opposing them, we're supposed to go hard for our kingdom, which is in Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
The way we're supposed to go hard, because Esau's going hard for his. Esau's not playing no games out here.
The difference is, Esau prepared to sacrifice everybody else to his kingdom, man. We're prepared to sacrifice ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you know, Esau do a diligent search. He's doing his homework. He's not caught up on entertainment, man.
Precept.
Oh, no.
Ezekiel 21, start from verse 8. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished.
Yeah, we ain't forgot about the 1 billion hollow point bullets that DHS ordered. That was years ago. Oh, I was supposed to have used them bullets. Nah, them bullets are stockpiled and ready for what? Why would you be buying all them hollow point bullets? Because they know that the time is going to come when they're going to have to use them on Americans, beginning with you, Jakes. It's part of the plan. It's part. Yeah, blood. Even though there was one of the famous Illuminati quotes was, "The New World Order will not be achieved without the shedding of blood. Blood sacrifice is part of their thing."
Ezekiel 35, although referencing mainly Israel, it says, "Sith thou hast not hated," but Esau has no issue with blood.
He don't care. No, Esau don't care, man. How many of his own people he got to kill? He don't care about the average everyday Edomite, man. That's why they're sitting under a bridge right now.
Oh, it's a book of Ecclesiasticus 14:7. It say, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. Let me understand from 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
These Edomites, and all these men following Trump are gonna find that out. Trump don't care about you. Listen, them elites don't care about you Edomites like that's working in Walmart and all that. You and little Susie and Ellie, Jaden, and all them. Them elites don't care about you. You are gonna get washed out with the water. They don't care. That's been known. Under the system of Esau, there's the elites and only the elites. They don't care about you. Now you gotta ask yourself, if they don't care about their own people, how the hell they gonna care about us? How they gonna care? Even their own veterans, they don't care, man. Man will get man on heroin and man will shoot his own brains out, man. Either man. They don't care.
He saw the old stone stepper, man. Everybody's a stepping stone to them. Yeah. You know? Anybody that needs to be stepped on, he's still gonna do it.
Esau don't care, man. So all these Edomites thinking that Trump is gonna bring some kind of way of life for them where they're gonna live as kings or something, but you got another thing coming. Still don't give a damn about anyone but themselves and their enterprise. And we don't care about no one except our enterprise, man, which is in Yahweh Shai. That's how it's supposed to be, man. Don't give a damn about the Chinese or the 2/3 of the niggas we don't care about too. They could go. Yeah. We gotta be on the same level of focus that the elites are on. We gotta be on our A game in the spirit. Don't get caught up.
Scripture, because you mentioned about sacrifice, right? This is sacrifice on the right hand side. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
Right. That's it. That's why we're out here. That's why we do the things we do, man. Because we're aiming towards something, man. Our enterprise, our success, which is in Yahweh Shai, man. We're dead serious about this thing. Vocab Malone and these guys, they think they can turn us to the side with their foolishness. He thinks if he comes against us enough, we just gonna close up shop. Hold up. Yeah. Well, we're no different to the elites. The elites ain't gonna close up shop. They're gonna have to be put down. They are serious about their thing. You're not gonna convince them. You got to be serious to do a plan multi-generational. Think of it. You know, imagine 1776 till now, and they've just been laser-eyed on this course. They put the damn thing on a dollar bill and they're still trying to do it to this day. No breaks. So they're serious. I commend them for that. Them man are serious about their thing. But guess what? We're serious about ours. That's how you have to be.
And just on the sacrifice thing, man, because we're coming in the spirit of was it Abel, right? Who brought an acceptable sacrifice to the Lord, whereas Cain did not. Right? Esau trying to do all this madness for what? He's not going to win nothing out of this in the end. He's going to get destruction. Right? But the elect, beginning with the elect, the children of Israel are going to receive that ultimate glory, man. You know, for doing what they were supposed to do.
Our enterprise. Yep. But they're gonna go for it though, and that's what we're showing you, man. The MOTB, Elon and Trump, man, they gonna do it, man. They're gonna do it. They're gonna bring that new system in right now. They're doing it, and they don't think they need to invent it. They don't need to invent it. The system's already there. They just have to roll it out. They have to have the excuse, which they're showing you the excuse. Oh well, there's lots of waste in the system. Did you know that everything Elon's coming out with was already known? Literally nothing Elon has come out with was not already exposed like 10, 15 years ago. And I mean everything. Everything that he's coming out with was already known. People acting like it's just new information. How the politicians are making all this money when they come into power. That's known. That's been out there in the ether. But they're bringing it out now. But why? Because they're like, okay, yeah, we need to do something different now. We need to have more transparency.
That's why a lot of action is going on right now. You know, whereas people were like, oh yeah, but do nothing about it. Action is taking place now. People are disappearing.
Just from the NBC, President Trump has signed more executive orders in his first 10 days and in his first month in office than any president in history has in their first 100 days.
Yeah, right. And a lot of that is what they're doing is called flood the zone, because a lot of the executive orders is bullshit, don't mean nothing. You got to stay focused on the ones that do, and that's what they try and hide in between everything. They slipped like the first day when he did the Stargate thing with the AI. You notice how they did that straight away and no one talks about it no more?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they dropped another 50 executive orders, and who's going to read through every single one of them orders? Man? Yeah. And then half of the orders got blocked by the judge. But
it keeps people like, wait, what's happening? Right, like there's so much going on, and you can't really focus on one thing. By the time you get to think about it, there's another 10 things that's happened, and you're juggling. That shows you they're pushing this thing, because they're flooding the zone. But then you watch, you're like, oh, hold on, man's talking about AI here. This man's talking about the social security, the fraud. That means digital ID is coming. So you get focused in. Oh, okay.
It's Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know he have but a short time.
Yeah, they know their time's short, so they're gonna push it and push it. And so this is why you see them coming out and exposing certain things, because they're exposing it so they can come with a solution. But the solution isn't going to be what people think it is. No. The solution is to bring in the MOTV system, the same system that we've been preaching and warning about all this time. It's all the same shit. AI, a digital currency. Isn't that what we've been talking about with the MOTV? Then what did he do? He banned the penny, right? Straight away. He said, yeah, we're not going to do no more pennies. Because the penny, yeah, cashless. He's forwarding the cashless side.
Yep.
Then he's coming out and saying all this fraud is going on, all this money is untraceable. You know what would make it traceable? A new digital system, blockchain, which everything will be trackable and traceable. Isn't that what we've been talking about? Oh, these people, they're getting there's all this fraud, multiple social security numbers. You know what would fix all that? Digital ID, biometrics. You see what I'm saying? Oh, these politicians are corrupt. Yeah, just bring in the AI, let the AI run it. Let the AI overlord take over. Let him start doing this and doing that. Oh, the cars. Same thing with him. Driverless cars. They want the driverless planes. Well, nobody wants to get in a plane with no driver. So what do? Have bare planes crashing and blame it on the pilots. Now all of a sudden it's like, boy, I don't know, man. Can't trust these people. You know,
AI would
maybe the AI, which they're already automatic already. When you get on a plane and it's traveling, most of the way it's in auto mode. All they need to do now is they will say, well, we'll have the AI there running the plane, and the pilot will just be there in case something happens.
We'll just have cabin crew.
Yeah, cabin crew. Yeah. And then guess what? Now you can pay the pilot less because he's not actually flying the plane. And it's going to be cheaper for you to get on this plane. Because AI the thing go already, man. Yeah. So they're already setting up this MOTV system right in front of everyone's eyes, man. Now they're talking about mRNA vaccines for cancer. Well, we said that for a long time, that the actual true pandemic that's out is cancer. It always has been. It's not the flu. The real thing that a lot of people are sick from out here. I could point to anyone here, they got a family member, more than one, that's experienced cancer, whether it's prostate cancer, breast cancer. I remember when I was in school, they said 1 in 3 people would have cancer. Yeah. Now that's gone up. Yeah, so you know what they're going to do now? They're going to introduce a shot for that and start curing people. Oh, yeah, but you got to get this. If you want the Medicaid, if you want you need to take this thing with it so we can monitor you. Track your vitals. You can track your vitals through this thing. And Elon's saying it because he's the smartest man. So
that's not because the might thing, you know, the heart attack thing, right? Because that's murky waters right now. If it was something they can monitor that, so we need to make sure that you're okay. Because before it didn't quite work out as well as you hoped. Yeah. So now we can watch it and make sure you're okay.
But that's actually to solve the American medical crisis. The implantable biochip helps that, because now you don't have to go to a doctor to get a diagnosis. Now they started doing that. I don't know if you know, brothers, noticed that a lot of times now they send you to like online, diagnose yourself, and the thing will ask you a series of questions. Yeah, but the one thing it can't do is measurements. Now certain people, if you're on private healthcare, you can actually buy like certain devices. You can have your own blood pressure device. You can have, now what if they had one device that you could just get inserted and it will do your blood work, it will do your blood pressure, it could check, see if you got cancer? Would people take it? Yeah. They say, yeah, we give this because you can't afford Medicare. The medical system's fucked up. But guess what? This is like your one-stop shop for medical care. This biochip. And guess what? You can make payments with it too. Get your Twitter account.
It's all centralized.
All these things
All
are
over
happening
place.
at the same time.
So,
Twitter, the everything app.
It says 2 Corinthians 2:11.
Come on.
The Satan should get an advantage of us. We are not ignorant of his devices.
So they're gonna look like they're saving a system that they designed to be broken. It was designed to fail. And he's cutting Medicaid. So a lot of people are gonna have health crisis. Oh, okay, then okay, we know how to fix that. We know how to fix that.
We got Elon.
We got Elon and we got these medical chips here. And they'll start off by giving it to a few people as a trial, and then they'll talk about how successful it is, and then it will be mandatory. Listen, the federal government can't keep paying for Medicare because it's causing everyone to get taxed. So everyone has to get this chip. They could do that if you want to get medical care. Everyone has to get this. If you don't get this chip, then don't bother turning up with no medical care, or you need to come and pay up front. If you get the chip, you're gonna get free medical care. How many men would take it in America? How many men are struggling with health problems in America right now? By design.
the lockdown shit, they were trialing that, pushing that, the fucking online appointments and shit. So what they're pretty much trialing the shit. You sit at home, with like Zoom call you or whatever, however they do it.
Yep.
But obviously, one of the going into that, like pretty much they're gonna really finalize that whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you
they
could do
they
it.
were pushing it, and the chip as well, man. Sweden and shit. They actually mentioned that in the lockdown about the chip. Imagine the chip being able to be monitor everything going on in your body. Yeah.
No, they said that.
Yeah.
What, in Sweden? Yeah.
Yeah.
See if I can find that.
I did videos on it. I had a news report.
Was it a news report? See
Yeah.
if I can find it.
That was back in 2020.
What do you call biochip or medical?
No, but it would have been
Sweden's been cashless for since.
because
Like
basically
2020.
Sweden are doing all that. They're
They're
going in
cashless
on that.
already, yeah.
They're definitely going in on that. That's like a model for the whole shit. You know what I'm saying?
On the transport, everywhere.
Right. So they said that, so that they pushed that back then, and you couldn't really say nothing on it. But it's just interesting how right now how everything's coming together anyway. Through the spirit, man. That's how shine. It's all coming together. But that proved that lockdown was a heavy pivotal step for all that. Yeah. You know?
As all these health scares that they keep pushing is going to push this even further. You know, reasons why we need to have it. The next big one, the next pandemic, or it's all being used to like a Trojan horse for the MOTB to come.
Yeah, the word for device there in that scriptures in the Greek is noema. The outline of biblical usage is a mental perception, thought, and evil purpose. That which thinks the mind thinks of purpose. It's an evil purpose, the evil scheme, evil plan.
This is Micah chapter 2. Micah chapter 2, verse 1.
But that's doing the same.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil on their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Maybe under his system, he does what he wants. A lot of y'all didn't know that. A lot of you think that shit's random, but this is. I'm like we always talk about predictive programming. So, the Simpsons or something popped up. They put that shit in there. They knew they've been planning this for years. You know, we can go back, brothers can go back as we do back to philosophy and all that shit in the Golden Dawn and all that New World Order. Because when Trump came in, he was saying this is a golden age and all that, which goes back to the Golden Dawn. So he's got proven he's into this witchcraft. He's a witch. He's down with it. This dude is in WWE wrestling. Like, come on, man. These people are in there. And he's been talking about being the president from when he was young. Then he just gets up in there. So it ain't all. It ain't all. It ain't all bullshit, man. So everything's already in the framework. Yeah. And that's why us as the prophets, we bring it out to the spirit and line it up with prophecy. Because a lot of y'all weren't teaching that the mark of the beast, and still ain't teaching that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip.
Even though there's overwhelming evidence now. You know, before you might have said, "Oh yeah, but we can't really tell with this and that." Even though we was teaching it, we knew it in the spirit. We knew it. You man were on the fence about it. But even though there's overall information now on these different aspects of the MOTB, you know, the seer, you're still playing games with this, man. Right? You're putting, you know, people's lives in jeopardy. You know, as well. Hey, you gotta be responsible for a lot of deaths these other camps, man. You know, but you're not gonna dissuade your people from taking it.
Right.
You know,
The penalty of taking it is death. You know what I'm saying? The penalty of taking the mark of the beast RFID chip is death.
that's right.
And you know, if you're trying to be someone that's calling yourself being saved or being of the 144,000, you ain't gonna get that by taking that. So that's what we're telling you. You ain't gonna get that. You know, you ain't gonna be of the 144,000 of the elect if you take the fucking mark of the beast. All right. So your salvation is on the line. Someone might go, "Oh yeah, but you know that we all die." Well, what about you Israelites? You talking about you guys, man? Okay, fuck the people in the world. They're just lost. You Israelites, people that watch different camps, watch different videos, watch different vibrations and shit. Different way, you know what I'm saying? Look, man, you take that mark of the beast, it's just curtains.
It's gonna be the most important decision you're ever gonna make in your life.
Yeah.
You know, and you shouldn't be so nonchalant about it. You know, if you don't believe, you don't know, then all things should be on the table. You know, at the very least, so you can be extra cautious, right? But don't be duped into thinking that the you know, the RFID chip is not the MOTB. Don't be duped into thinking that, man, because that is gonna land you in the but that's gonna land you in the lake of fire, man. You know.
Yeah, read it.
Real quick, just to prove that the RFID is a chip, this is from Data Science Central, talking about the banking system. I'll just get to the point. RFID technology in banks and financial institutions is a prevalent option for identity verification, identity threat protection, biometric authentication, and more. These solutions confirm top-notch security and facilitate customers in protecting their money and investments and allow banks and financial institutions to secure their assets and inventory. So they're basically saying, in a nutshell, you need it for your security. We live in a time where there's mad cyber attacks and fraud going on, and the only way we can guarantee the protection of your money is the chip, and that's on every this is on a central UK government website.
It's like all this two-factor authority stuff, right? Making all your accounts more secure enough, right? Because I don't know how it works right now, but obviously banks and stuff, they protect you. You're supposed to protect your money in your bank, right? But what if they say, well, you're not gonna protect that unless you with this certain technology, you know? So this whole idea that we're making you more secure, you have to be more secure, otherwise you ain't gonna be secure at all. These old methods, if you're not gonna support them no more.
But you know, they used to do that because you used to be able to leave cash deposits in the bank, and then they stopped that because they were like, "Oh, if your money gets stolen and it's not physically in your bank account, we're not insuring you for that."
Yeah.
So then that's just the next evolution of it.
I was gonna say, the FSCS, they protect up to 85,000 of your deposit, but in order to do that, you need to go through an ID check to open the bank.
So you have to do these things first.
You have to do the ID. You have to have ID.
Conditions,
and that's the whole point of the MOTB. The MOTB is going to have your ID on it. Yeah. You know, so they're definitely going to usher it in with the ID in mind. You know,
right now in June we've got the keep mentioning
June.
June as well, isn't it? Digital passport, driving license, and your army things.
Yeah, that's right.
So and they said that it's not just that. So they ain't you know, or how they're gonna get the rest. No, they told you it's just putting that out there first to get people used to it, and then they're gonna link everything's linked to that. June in the UK, they didn't even where's Donald Trump? They use him. You know what I'm saying? The UK, man, the merry old UK, they put they're moving, you know. Got these Rothschilds here, elites and shit, you know, got the parliament and all that. Now they actually sat Elon Musk down, and motherfuckers didn't know what that meeting was about. They had him sat down. I'll never forget, I'll do a video again. And they sat his ass down, and when Rishi Sunak was in, all of the UK government were there, and they were like, well, you know, because AI is taking over, they didn't use the word taking over, but you know what I'm saying? It's the new thing, it's the new way of life. how do we? They were asking him. They were like he was a fucking like he was
the
all-
answers to
right,
everything.
he was like he was the president. Prime Minister. They're like, so what should we do? You know how Rishi Sunak talks, right? So what should we do to get in? You know, the laws in to protect AI. So they basically the whole government was saying, okay, AI is coming in, and we're going to get laws in for AI.
He's the smartest man on earth. He got all answers to all the questions, man. You know, so he can save everybody.
Well, even if I can say this, or even his son's telling the president to shut up.
Yeah.
He's in the Oval Office telling, his son's telling the president to shut up. You know, the president.
His kid would have gone missing.
What would the
Secret Service
I've got
thing
something.
like that.
This is the judgment for taking the chip, right? This is Revelation 14:9, and the subheading it says doom for the worshippers of the beast, right? It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High Yahweh.
Yeah, you love this system, man, so much. You're prepared to go this far for it. To give up all things. We went into it earlier. You're prepared to give up everything so you can remain in this system. You know, actually worshiping the image of the beast.
Fully subscribed.
And take his mark. Fully subscribed. All the likes. All the likes. Thumbs up. And the bells, everything. All the notifications. Well, that's you damn sure you're gonna get a notification when you take the ship, man. You get pinged off. But yeah, man, you're prepared to go full distance with the system. But that's gonna lead you into the lake of fire, man. That's where it's gonna end you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had the fucking AI robot in the parliament, bro. Like, why would they do that, man? It doesn't make no sense. Right. Like it's like a real like a movie. People go in AI and all that. Dude, it's in the fucking, they put it there. They had asking it questions, man. Legal questions.
What do you think?
Right, that's true, right. Well, I don't know. My name is Ophius. You know what I'm saying? And it starts, you know what I mean? How do you feel? So that's these questions. How do you feel about that? Then it goes, feelings I don't have, but logic. But this is what's actually going on. They got that in there, implemented it. Yeah.
It says the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone.
Now you don't want that. You don't really want that, man. And so this is not a game that we're playing here. Like we're dead serious of what we're on. We're not here to play semantics. This could be that. We have to tell you for sure and for certain what things are.
That's why we're important. Profits are important. All this stuff that we're telling you about how the system is going to go. Judgment. Jeremiah 28. That's what the prophets prophesied as judgment. That's what we're doing. Esau ain't telling you about no fucking judgments, man. You know what I'm saying? You follow him, man, then you're going to get chipped and he's going to promise you new parties that you can have with that chip in your ass.
Yeah, cyber.
Right, right. With electro music playing, with
the brain dances, isn't it?
Right. Cutting all kind of shapes. Yeah. The cake cutters and all that.
Yeah.
Cookie cutters and all that.
Spinning armor.
Certain diamonds. Right. Yeah, so that's the spirit. What does the scripture say about mirth? You know what I'm saying? Let's get that one.
21. That's a good one.
So that's why people got a problem with us. Remember what the scripture says? It because I tell you the truth.
Yeah, enemy. Yeah.
What's the truth hurts, right?
Yeah.
But only fucking know what? Right, fuck it. These motherfuckers, right? Right. These pieces of fucking shit on the internet. Y'all, like, I'm talking about you demons. Because all the elects you got elect watching, that's what really was for edifying. For all you pieces of shit out there, Man, just fuck you guys. Man. Read that. This bit.
Yeah, Ezekiel 21:9, it says, Son of man, prophesy, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth?
So you got one mentality of, oh, things are gonna go bad, so why we might as well party up.
Yeah.
That's a fucking fool.
Yeah.
People actually say that. Then you got a real mentality of a stoic, someone in tune with spirit,
Right.
someone that's sensible. They're gonna be like, bro, if like for example now all these like when the Lord flooded the earth, they were mocking because they didn't think it was gonna happen. Now if they knew that shit was gonna happen, right, they would have been trying to body, but look, you got space.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
They wouldn't have been partying.
Right.
Yeah, they would have made their own boat.
Right.
You know what I mean? They would have been serious about what was going to, about to happen.
Right.
You know?
So y'all are gonna get caught out there. And then the scripture says, you have not hated me, hate them, you hate me.
Yeah.
Because basically what you do is coming against us. Is we're just mouthpieces.
Right.
You coming against the words of the Most High. You basically saying, nah, man, I don't believe that ain't right. F that ain't like that. Okay. Right. So, I mean, come on, man. How demonic can you get? Like all that stuff, all the Bible's been changed, or the Bible, this stuff. You got a problem with the scriptures, man.
Right.
That's the first of all. That's the wrong step, number one.
Yeah, right.
We're on
Yeah,
the wrong
that's it.
footing already.
That's right.
So you don't believe in the scriptures. What do you believe? That's what we've got to start asking your ass now. When you go up, when that night time, what do you get up to, man? What do you pray to, man?
Yeah.
As I thought earlier, man, people believe in their own vain opinions, man. You know?
And what are you doing out there? You don't worship, you ain't believe in the scripture. So what is, how you do? Right. You're going to come out with some bogged out philosophy. Yes. That was fucking even beat. I got that. Yeah, go on.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe were.
But you know what's beautiful, right? Is another major part of this is the UFOs, the chariots, because people are not expecting that's how the Lord is going to come. Just to believe in the Lord, so there's hurdles here. Do you believe in Yahweh? Do you believe in the Lord? Do you believe in the Bible? No. Okay. Go ahead, told you. Okay. Do you believe in the Messiah? Well, I believe in Jesus Christ. Okay, but do you know he was a so-called black? Do you know his name's Yahweh Shai? Okay, that's another. So if not, then when it comes in UFOs, you ain't even on that.
Ready?
So you ain't gonna get picked up, man. You ain't even. What's that?
What's going on? You see that? Found it.
That's you ain't even in the spirit to get up in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if we ain't gonna get beamed up, then who the fuck is, man? That's what it is. If we ain't got if brothers ain't that teaching ain't gonna get beamed up, who is?
Yeah.
Some unbelieving porky crowd motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Some plans of Midlanders. Right. Come on, man. That's BS, man.
Like some nigga trying to get in your car that you don't even know what's up. You know the man of the day, you pull up. Yeah, come on, we're supposed to hit this party. You know, okay, whatever. And then next thing you know, some niggas trying to slide up in there. Yeah, just slide, but I don't know you, bro. What are you doing? You know? Now come to my house, man. Yeah, and some niggas trying to slide up in there. You don't know this guy. He ain't accepted you how much shot.
Snuck to the bar.
Yeah.
Shots. He didn't even know how he got that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, put it on your time.
I've got a quick one. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the
fucking worms coming out of the sun.
It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they looked for.
Yeah, the fourth kind.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, for the close encounters of the fourth kind. And then you got the you had the fifth.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you had the close encounters of the fourth kind, the third kind. Then you had the other one, the fifth. I can't remember, man. This was chariot.
Yeah.
Well, it was one in Canada.
Yeah.
Chariot.
An isolated place. Right. I think that's called the fourth
Yeah,
kind.
the fourth kind.
Yeah.
Right, so you got the fourth encounter, the close encounters
Yeah,
of the
fourth kind and the fourth kind.
Yeah, that's it.
So they're showing you that basically it's another dimension.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fourth kind.
Yeah.
So when the Lord comes, he comes like basically superheroes, Thanos, Apocalypse, all those
Dark side.
omens, dark side, all those are omens for Yahweh Shai, man. You know, that's why he's always big, broad nose, red eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Deep voice.
Yeah.
What was his name? Thanos. His daughter was that Jake? What was her name? Gamora. Come on, that's Jake. That was his daughter, right? Come on. That's that. You know what I mean? You might have it. That's Jake. You might have a sister called Lalandra. Gamora. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
Loretta, Tisha. So that shows that it was Jake. They even showed you that. It weren't Katie. How come the daughter went Katie? Right? Because you know what I'm saying? That proves it. They're showing you, man. So the mega arc villain, the ultimate arc villain is Yahweh Shai. They're aware of that, man. So a lot of these guys, like in these organizations, and all that weak guys in there. That's not the spirit. That's not what's going to be. That's the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they curse us. So you guys are too rough. Like that. No. The spirit, what the Lord was asked there, man.
Right.
The spirit of the Lord is a serious spirit, man. It's not the. Like, come on, man. That's that weak when he tap out or when he go to church.
Yeah. Face. There was a shirt buttoned up.
choking all them characters. They all had hemorrhage as well that was fucked out before that actual new character come through. Like, looking at the Avengers, like Thanos' Herald was fucking up the Hulk and all the Avengers and shit. He told him to bow before Thanos would arrive and said, if you bow, we're gonna have mercy.
Kneel, yeah.
Kneel.
Yeah, he was asking everyone to kneel. Kneel.
Yeah, the pastors always say we're the heralds of
Right,
our
right,
strike. That's exactly what we do. So now when them UFOs are popping up on CNN, on your this station, on your ABC, and your 1, 2, 3, or the news alphabet news stations,
BBC, BBC,
BBC.
CBS, BBC,
No, that BBC, that BBC, right? That had the statue outside of it was witchcraft, man. Well, actually, it was a dude with some bearded dude. Yeah. And then I think I don't know, they tried to knock it down in some of the riots, protests. People getting mad. You know when they were knocking down all the statues, I think it was for Black Lives. BS. You know? But that statue was witchcraft because it was that pedophile shit. Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Right, so the wicked gets revealed, especially in the end time, and the prophets come out, expose his ass right before the Lord comes. And the Lord actually prophesied that he was going to come back in these ships. Many times in the scriptures that the Lord's going to come back in these ships. So if you don't know that, you ain't looking out for the right signs. Scripture talks about the signs. 2 Corinthians 9. Look at the signs and all that. That's part of them signs and ships. You seen them UFOs. Well, you know, what they say, the heathen are dismayed at the signs of heaven. They're seeing chariots and going, oh, what do we do? Let's get military. You know what I'm saying? Let's get military weapons, lasers and that, rockets, nukes. You know what I'm saying? Fucking nukes. All of that. But that ain't gonna that's what they're dismayed at the signs. When we see chariots, we're praising the Most High.
Yeah, that's right.
Now sometimes there's drones and shit and there's BSO. So you want to make sure it's in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be, oh yeah, but it's not even a chariot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's part of Esau's BS. He's trying to throw off prophecies with that as well. Because you get articles, oh, but you UFOs, government. Okay, yeah, he's got his BS. But his shit can't do nowhere near what the chariots can do. So the Lord has given Esau that glory. That's BS. Yeah. That's going back from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
Esau ain't got that.
Right.
That's not his glory. He ain't got that. To them angels, they can reappear, disappear in a major ship. They can make a major ship go small, like it's tiny and shit. That's crazy, man.
Come out from water.
Right.
Come out beneath water. Even back in the day, I saw some information about there was a big aircraft ship, right? And it was like a thunderstorm, rain. And basically the people on the ship stopped feeling rain. And when they looked up, there was this big ship that was over them that was so big that they couldn't feel the rain that was hitting them.
Imagine
in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Check that. Imagine what Esau's got on camera.
Yeah.
Why them elites and shit and all that. They're taking it serious. They're taking it serious to even bring it out in the public. They're like, look, man, it's got to be out there because we got to get them demonized because they're showing themselves and have been showing themselves anyway. Imagine what Esau's got on camera.
Space Force.
Like that shit will like bug the average person out. Some Stargate SG1 type shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They'll bug the average person out there. That's what it is. If you go, there's people that walk around bugged out of psychotic drugs because they've seen shit in remote places. People get experimented on by Esau and shit, MK Ultra and all that. They walk around, they've bugged out. But they've seen shit. That's real. Well, obviously, it's not the average football match. You know, pub grub. You know what I'm saying? Spirit, is it? So they know. So the average civilian citizen in the UK, right? Right, the pub grub. Let's go to the game, mate. The spirit. Come on, man. They ain't getting screwed, right? Right. Go ahead. Acts ain't dealing with all that.
Conversation.
Right.
So book of Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a crowd received him out of their sight.
Yeah, so the Lord was beamed up into the ships, man. That's in the scriptures, man. UFOs are in the Bible, souls on it. UFOs are in the scriptures. That's evidence right there. He was beamed up. Were there, the angels, and he got beamed right up into that ship, man. So let's read that.
And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel.
When do you ever hear that the Christians don't hear them going into this, man? They don't go into this. But that's why when the right brothers hear the truth, they're like, damn, I ain't never heard no one go into this. That's what a lot of people say. But man, I ain't never heard things that you're bringing out. I've not heard anybody go into this. When I was in the church, they would say, and all we was doing was banging the tambourine or some whatever. You know, the mysteries of the scriptures. You know, go ahead.
Which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven?
They were looking up in the ship, the cloud, the chariot, the pillar by day, the fire by night. You know what I'm saying? And they was looking at the ship as you would. You know what I'm saying? So you got taken up. That's the track that you get beamed up. They call it tractor beam.
Yeah.
So you get beamed up, taken up. Right?
Yeah.
So they were looking up. This is the ancient world, man. See, it spooks people out, this information, because every time people like these donuts think about the ancient world, they don't think that people civilized and major civilizations, technology, nothing was going on basically. People were banging rocks together. Right.
No clothes.
That's Esau.
Yeah, it's because they got the robots now.
Yeah. Boogla boogla.
It's crazy.
No written language.
Yeah. I've got. Sorry. That's lined up like.
This same Yahweh which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in a like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
So the second coming of Yahweh Shai. So if you're into any New Age philosophy, I believe in myself, I'm spiritual. You witch, you and that's so prevalent right now.
Yeah.
No, we believe in Yahweh Shai and the second coming of Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
End of man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's become too cool and normal to be trendy and all that. Right.
Yeah.
That's part of that. That's part of them. That old school philosophy with all of them witches that we talked about. Alistair Crowley and that, that's right now. That's running. You know what I'm saying? So I'll even back on what we're saying. We're waiting for Yahweh Shai. Straight out, that's what we're doing this for. We're waiting for the second coming of Yahweh Shai. That's a heavy scripture, man. That's what we're waiting for. What you guys do, it's getting cold, all that, right? It's just some scoffers, right? But these elites, right? They know what the fuck's going on, right? In terms of they are aware that Yahweh Shai is coming, so that's why they're always watching these UFOs. The Queen and Prince Philip is documented that's what they were doing.
Yeah, right.
Fascinated watching you trying to look at UFOs, man. Y'all didn't know that, right? Believers, right? The people, the public domain, the general public in the public domain, right? The public domain, y'all didn't know that the Queen and them were looking at UFOs. So you've been tricked, duped, conned.
What is the astrologers and stargazers, man? They're watching for signs in the heavens. So UFOs is part of that because the angels travel, right? So they're constantly watching the skies, man. You know?
They did it in the ancient world, the birth of Yahweh Shai, and all that. You know what I'm saying? People that's what they do. These people check the stars of heaven, and it's true. Yeah. The Esau today is into that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They've got druid priests. They've got the Jesuits. What's the Rosicrucians and all these different orders. He's got these sorcerers and that. He's got his modern day Babylonian magi, man. Esau's got him. Basically, that's why Alistair Crowley was dressing up like these guys. He was taking it serious. He was going to Egypt pyramid. He's putting on the hat. He's putting the symbols up. He was doing it all. And then, you know what I mean? He's wearing the garbs and that because he was a left-hand priest of Satan.
Wouldn't make Janus and Jamboree.
Right. Right, hocus pocus and all that. That's what.
Yeah.
Because they put that all in the cartoons for your kids to watch.
Yeah.
Wizards and all that. Oh, Harry Potter and this wizard. Pop, all this spirit, man.
Halloween.
So your kids running around like, and then like Halloween comes up.
Right. And then it was the
Right.
little demons.
What's his one? Cute.
I want to be like Harry.
Getting you Gryffindor.
Was it Mickey Mouse and the Sorcerer's Cone hat?
Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Sorcerer's hat.
That's a free-class mouse.
That fantasia was a trip, man.
For real, like you look into Mickey Mouse.
Bro?
Yeah, that's straight up my fucking witch park.
She had demons in the fucking sky.
I got one. This is back on because you mentioned about the tractor beam,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right? This is Second Kings.
Ah, spirit.
You
I
had
told you the same one.
Second Kings chapter 2, verse 11.
Yeah.
It says, and it came to pass as they went on and taught that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both, them being Elijah and Elisha, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven.
I mean, that scripture ties into what we're talking about, like beams. Because people think back then people just had sticks, just eating like sand. Well, not knowing, but like back then, spooky things was taking place, man.
Right.
So
That's
right. There is actually what you call a tractor beam.
Yeah, he said it parted them asunder. So that was that tractor beam, you know?
I watched something recently on it was on some app I was using anyway. And it's called No One Shall Save You, right? And it's an alien abduction type movie in it. They took over the town, but they was harassing this woman, and they was flinging these tractor beams in place, so they wanted to take her in it. It was like anything if she could manage to get outside of it, it'd be alright. But anything in the middle, it was frozen, and it was taken up. But if you felt in between, then you got fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? So they get these things out of the scriptures, man.
Right.
Evidently.
That's right. That's
You
right. Yep.
Straight up, man. Like, look in the scripture, man. Bro, there's all kind of spooky stuff, man. Like, even use that Samson. You remember when his parents met what's it called, man, an angel, and then and then they gave a burnt offering. Scripture says the angel jumped into the fire and he went up like into heaven, man. That's them beams. That's them lasers, man. Spooky stuff throughout the scripture. Because imagine that you see an angel jump into fire, go.
Even the mother said when she saw the angel, it looked very terrible. Very
terrible.
Yeah, you can have an angel look like the predators.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The predators meant business.
Businessmen.
That's what they mentioned the hunt,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord set an angel on your ass.
Yeah.
You got scripture accounts where, the angel was over Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Big sword, man. Well, this stuff's real.
Bro, that's crazy, man. Like, how big is the angel? How big is the sword?
The spirits of mass destruction.
There,
SMDs.
Yeah.
And a lot, there's a count when some people go in, like it's like, there was something up with them that day. Or, they kind of knew he was gonna go. There's those accounts like that. You start getting followed by the spirits.
Yeah, bro.
Spirits like turn up.
Yeah.
And they might see it. Some people see it right before the time.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Bro.
Man, is it Ghost? That movie.
There was one Netflix fucking show that was showing it.
Patrick Swayze running from the other ghost.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Ghost, yeah.
Like, what is he want with me?
I remember that. It's an old school one. Then.
Or even just the terror in your mind
Yeah.
before you go, that's the angels is terror your ass. And then you wake up and it's like, the angels there. And now you got to go before the Most High.
Right.
So this is why you got to fear the Most High, man. Y'all think this is a game, man. This ain't a fucking game. You fear the Most High, your whole boss the Most High. When you ass wakes up, there's a couple of accounts. I know people that passed old people, that's in their 70s, 80s. When they passed and shit, one particular person said, "Look, man, he was going, but he was telling the people at the bedside table, it was Jake, Jake, and he was saying, look, man, there's two people at the end of the bed. You know what I'm saying?" And he said, "Yeah, man, they're there, and he wanted to go. He was like, "It's time to go, man. I want to go." Because it was on the thing, and then not on it. He's like, "I want to go." They said the people came, and so the Lord, that's the Most High, man. When you pass over, the spirit, the angels of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Then you got death angels.
Yeah.
Death angels, death. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, man, when the Lord did the the bubonic plague, that was the spirit of death. Jake would just get Jake wiped out. That Esau don't want to teach that history. Now we do shows on it, you know, and stuff like that. But Esau still doesn't want that out. He just don't want that info out, man. Because he won't be able to act like what he's trying to act like right now, isn't it? British, we're the British and all that. Where this get out. We don't be able to say that. Come out with what's really going on, would it? That this land was the dark nation's lands.
Right.
So you won't be able to say get out, but it would still say it because the devil's good in America. Get out. But the truth of what this place is, they're gonna push that because they won't be able to say get out. No, you get out, man. Go on, man.
Yeah, and it says, verse 12, and Elisha saw it, and he cried.
Yeah.
It says, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof.
So read that part again, man.
Yeah, it says, verse 12 in 2 Kings 2. It says, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my power, the chariot of Israel.
My power, the chariot of Israel, man. Israel. My power, you know?
Yeah. Why didn't it say the chariot of Moab?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't that.
So,
Chariot of Moab.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
come on, man.
The God of Moab don't have no chariots, man.
Exactly, that's right.
Got no chariots.
It don't sound right. I might say getting beat.
all these other nations, they just went with demons.
They're that falsehoods.
Right. And they get empowered to the top level of them. See these spirits? You know what I'm saying? So that's what gets them proud and shit. You know, God, they have meetings, you know what I'm saying? But they ain't got chariots though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on.
They know that so that's they're gonna be confounded.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do a ritual. What's going on?
Yeah.
They don't turn up.
Yeah.
They're gonna be what?
Yeah.
They're gonna be running through them books of sorcery that
Yeah.
like, knocking books down by accident. You know what I'm saying? Bookshelves falling over and all that. You know what I'm saying? Stumbling and mumbling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Where's the right?
Yeah.
And then they, you know, the demons ain't gonna appear, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, the demon, like the pastor would say, the double agents, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just take that back step
Yeah.
out there. You got and all these fucking Edomites are where oh, but that's in the stargazers and shit.
Yeah, I got this. Can I bring it? Yeah. It's Isaiah 47, verse 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou should be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, that now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. They shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it.
Right, all that you shall be prosperous.
Yeah,
and then just things are just going left.
Yeah.
What you said, I thought.
Back of the dollar bill, right? You know, the back of the dollar bill is is it bless our enterprise or crown our enterprise with success, right? Well, that's not right. That's not true. You know?
Yeah.
You're most likely gonna turn your shit upside down, man. That's right. That's right.
Just absolutely fell, man.
Yeah.
Like, just a big point, man. I actually thought about the scripture. Remember when the Philistines took the government, and then they brought it into the table of what's the name? Dagon. And each time the statue stayed out, just fall. Okay, it just fall just before that up. But like spiritually, when everything comes to pass, all this witchcraft and secret councils, their books, it ain't gonna work, man.
That's what Belcher's on.
Yeah, exactly.
But I got the all the ornaments from the temple. He had the halls drinking out of the cups and all of that. And then literally the Lord put the writing on the wall that same night, man.
Yeah. And remember, spiritually now, that took place with CERN. Remember a couple of years ago, CERN got that message and it was shook. You know? Like, shit. Basically, you've been found wanted. Time to get judged. You know?
Precept.
It's that dark, right, with that sorcery shit. Once you make that step, just keep going. that's like a deal. It's like a black hole. When he first signs that soul and he gives it to the boss man, like he's got like that lewd act. First he's like, oh, I ain't really feeling that. But then he just starts going for it.
It goes up the ledge.
Yeah, that's that. He gets the better. You know. So now that's when the demons are getting installed, man.
More demons jump on board.
Right. Right, the demons start. Right, they're just all the
You start bugging out like Kanye.
Right, you know.
Do you remember that film we watched up in Edinburgh, The Possession of Michael Caine?
Oh, yeah,
I found that film, mate. That's a dope.
That was a crazy film.
Dope.
Yeah, because he was scoffing.
That film's heavy because that film was heavy because basically what happened is his wife died in a car accident. So now he was mad at the Most High. Why did you kill my wife? Which is like certain typical people would say.
Yeah.
It was a God. But why would he care?
I like his wife crashes.
So then what happened was he said he's going to do, because he's scoffed. He said, I'm going to do every ritual under the sun. So he tarots, everything. Then he even tried to console angels. Went to this creepy family. And it's always a cold, creepy family. Don't speak.
The seller was like,
So he came in there, like, you know, wagging his tongue. So then he came in that bitch. He was like, well, you know, I want to. What about angels, man? Where they at? Because he was already doing the demons, and they said, look, man, the thing is with the angels, you can't get in contact with them.
They contact you. Can't contact them. They contact you.
The demons now, they were just ready to play. That's what they said. Come on, demons are battling you. We go through Satan trying to mess with your mind all the time, so you stay prayed up. It's part of it's a spiritual battle, right? So that means that in this atmosphere, there is nothing but demons happening around. Skipping around, man.
These people walk around with two demons on them. You know, they jump on from one person to another person. And do all kinds of crazy shit. You know?
So how scripture where Yahushua did that parable basis, like when the clean spirit is basically come off of a man, then basically the demon comes back that they originally had. Basically proving that everyone has demons. You know.
And you know, people think that spirit, every demon's like the exorcist of Emily fucking. That's BS, man. And that demon that was on there, that goes back. He was actually possessed. That demon of the exorcist of Emily Rose, or whatever it was, Emily, you know, I can't remember her name. Emily King. Well, I don't know if it was Michael King. Type it in, but it was possessed, a Babylonian demon. An ancient Babylonian demon was on that girl that was in the Exorcist, that Exorcist show. That's what it was about. It's crazy, man.
And then as well, it's like I remember we always reason.
So that was a strong demon. Doing all that, mate. All that. So that fruit. So someone can have demons on them. Doesn't mean they're gonna motherfucking be levitating. You know you got your job next to you, man. Type
They don't even know they got demons on them. You know, self demons.
They might be some crab sticks.
Just because someone's got that party on a Friday night, you know what I mean?
You know what? It kind of shows you that what's that? Denzel. No, the Denzel film. The one where the demons would
Fallen.
Remember, like everywhere it went, it would just leave one person
Yeah.
going to another host, and then they even went at the end into a cat. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
At the end, it was in a cat.
They kept singing the same song as well.
Yeah.
Time.
But it's spiritual because
Their time.
it's not spiritual. It's all about that film was. Remember, like every time the team will go into the next person, it was when him and the person locked eyes. And like us in as well, you know, sometimes you actually see people. You almost see when a demon hops onto someone. You actually see in their eyes, they like bug out.
It's like the take over and make sure.
But this is why some people hide their eyes too,
Yeah,
man.
for real.
They got fucking demons gonna go with dark shades and shit. You know what I'm talking about.
Right, voice,
Like,
voice, bitch, man, change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What is?
Right, but, you know, to make a stance, man. Look,
Yeah, I know it.
like, then you're like, good, man. So, you know,
Just one more verse now. So just one last verse. I'll just stop it.
like, what's up, man? You good, man? It's there, you know.
Yeah, just back to the astrologers and stargazers thing, the witchcraft, right? Isaiah 47 verse 15 says, "Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchant from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee." So none of these witches are going to be able to save you, man. You know, no matter how many books you go through, you know, how many spells you cast,
Yeah,
demons you speak to.
Yeah,
about
that shit's gonna bug your ass out.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna leave you like when them demons leave that hole. That state of that person's empty shell, man. Broken, destroyed.
It's just a husk.
Right. Yeah, carcass. It's insect
Destroy the
carcass.
inside out, you know, it's fuck you up, man.
Insect carcass, man.
Scripture.
Yeah.
Ephesians 6:10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood."
So you gotta be aware of this. So when we come in this truth, that's why we keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Things like that nature. Of course, we you know, like you're sitting there eating crabs and eating shrimp. Come on, man, there's something wrong with you, man. You know, some demons really getting appetized. You know what I'm saying? That's just going weight. That's just you're going off. You're not even. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You know, so you know you gotta be aware of this stuff. You know that battle these spirit, like the brother was saying. If someone offers you some crab, really, like that's a demon. The demons, only demons are trying to take you off the path.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's because the word is light. If you walk according to the scriptures, it's light, right? So someone's always trying to, you know.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Satan.
Right.
Like when the Lord was getting tempted, do this, do that. Don't do it that way. The females be like that, man. You might, female.
Yeah.
You think, oh, yeah, all that. The next minute she's telling me to do, don't eat that.
Yeah.
And she's in the present today, like,
Just
you know,
one.
boxers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. All these like fucking dark aura emotion of Satan.
Yep.
But no, but so obviously the man of the Lord ain't gonna go for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we
And
measure.
that's just one example, this
Yeah.
little example.
That's right.
But it's the little ones that come across the most often, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like these little things, they all test too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, a little thing can be a big thing. It's a big thing.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
Yeah, like the elder was saying, it's like the thing is, it's like if it's not according to the word, like the scripture says, is this because there's no light in them. So if they're not speaking according to the word, then they're really coming with dark intentions. Because the word is light. So we measure ourselves with the word. That's how we. So in a minute, crap. That's not actually the dietary law. You know the one thing. So you got to measure yourself by the word, because that's the light. Without that, you know, now you're just embracing the dark.
You're like everybody else.
Yeah, you're like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man that wandered out of the way of understanding, so remained the congregation of the dead.
Right.
So they're just the walking dead.
Like the Dark Collective.
Yeah.
What was that, Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
And then you saw the Dark Spirits.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Akaku or something.
Yeah.
but there was just hordes of them.
Towards them, just
Just dark shadows.
yeah.
That's the collective.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that cartoon,
The samurai
first,
being
but I
served.
was-
Samurai watch it. First episode, so taken.
Yeah. It said, for we wrestle,
I don't remember. That's crazy.
yeah, for we wrestle not
No.
against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So I mean that's a big lesson. That's super alone. Because the top elites, they're dealing with this demonology on a big level. Like they're not taking this for a joke. They actually, like, spirits are real. They actually summon these things.
Yeah, talk to them. Yeah.
Crazy.
But this is why they're always going out digging up shit.
Right.
They spend a lot of their time spending their money and finding the fucking relics and shit. You know what I mean? Ancient scripts and whatever.
They just dug up a new pharaoh, man.
Yeah.
The other day. First time in 100 years.
Right. So this is what they're all into, man. These are their hobbies. You know what I mean?
Right.
These is what they're into, man. They don't go to work. They work on witchcraft.
That's what they're on.
Yeah, they don't go to work, man. It's like this fucking
Gathering up on the knowledge of the earth. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to do. Trying to get all kind of power.
Which proves there's nothing new under the sun. Because they're still worshipping the same God.
Yeah.
The same demon.
Yeah, because they know that they're archaeologists and shit.
Yeah.
So they'll look at ancient records and go, well, what?
Yeah.
What? You know, they find it. Right. They're fascinated.
Yeah, right. They're fascinated.
They just, they'll look at the ancient statue of a demon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll get the shit and bring it around them, and they'll read the books on the shit.
Remember the Ark of Baal? They was parading around New York and London and that. Remember that? They took that out of Syria, I think it was. They took that one. And they were parading that around, or
around the time of the Olympics or something like that. Or was it after? No,
I'm not sure when it was. It was a while back now, isn't it?
What?
It was after the Olympics. It was
After
after
the Olympics. Yeah, remember that?
But they had it. Was it Trafalgar Square?
Yeah, the Ark. Yeah, there was the Ark of Baal.
It came from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went. We did
Yeah,
the
we
video,
did.
yeah.
Yeah. I forgot. That's crazy. It was.
That's what I'm saying.
There.
We did the video.
No, that was one of wait,
did the video on site. We did the video on site, innit?
That's
Site.
crazy. That's crazy.
He was on location with that video. We did a video on site with that.
We was there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man.
But yeah, they took it to New York. I think they'd been in New York before, or they was going there afterwards, and that it was going around the place. But he saw that to parade these things around.
Yeah.
Go show they do on what you're saying, they do what we do on the right hand side, but they do it on the left hand side.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because scripture says that we would seek out the things of our ancients, right? Whereas they're going and seeking out the things of the left hand ancients and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, we're closing now. Maybe that.